So I don't have very much camera space, so I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible, but also I apologize in advance for any weird camera angles because I'm sitting on a handrail. But so I had this idea, and it's kind of one I've been formulating for a while, and the idea is basically why artists should honestly start, it's going to sound weird, but should start sending messages of contempt and hatred and non-tolerance, sort of regressive. So in the past, regressive was essentially normative, right? And you know, people would oppress others and do a substantial disservice to them in the social game. But so artists and creative people, it was the appropriate thing to be was essentially progressive, because I feel like one of the main jobs of artists is essentially to provide a counter argument to the cultural narrative, because one of the things that creative people are signified by, or it's their sort of intellectual footprint on the world, is providing counter arguments. Because if something is accepted by the majority of people, it's already been discovered and is therefore non-creative. And I'm not saying artists should be 100% contrarian, but I am saying that in the contrary viewpoint to society is ultimately where the most new information is, because everybody's looking in the other direction. So if you want to find something new, you have to look where most people aren't looking. By definition, that's where the creative generative capability potential is. So now, because history essentially was so repressive up to about, I don't know, maybe even 50 years ago, not very long at all, the popular culture of the intellectual currently, and the artist, or the cultural artist currently, is progressive. It's woke. It's non-hatred, non-pity. It's essentially empathy is cool now, where in the past oppression was cool. And that means that as true artists, true contrarians, true people who are looking for new information, we have to shift into radical conservatism. So in the past, conservatives held people down, but now everybody's liberal. It's niche to be liberal. It's cute. It's cool. So as artists, we actually have to spread the contrary message, and also not just to be an asshole, but like to make it, to find new information, you have to look where nobody else is looking. So we basically have to spread messages of intolerance, regressive prejudice and hatred, and not as haters, but as people who are simply looking where nobody else is looking and daring to stand against the norm. Hardcore conservatism is the new punk. Liberalism is cliche. Thank you.